Ray, thank you. At least 4 fake websites have sprung up to fleece unaware drivers on this, the first day of London's ultra-low emission zone being expanded across the capital. GB News has identified the scam sites trying to trick motorists into paying them the new daily £12.50 charge.
Well, the scheme itself has established the capital now as the world's largest pollution charging area. With a row breaking out between London's Mayor Sadiq Khan and the Transport Secretary Mark Harper, Mr Harper accused the Mayor of launching a cash grab on motorists. But Sadiq Khan said plans for a zero-emission zone or pay-per-mile charging had already been dropped. Today's move, though, is proving controversial for many in London's outer boroughs. Let's cross to one of those in Bromley in Kent, and our presenter Patrick Christis is there for us. Seemingly with some vandals as well, Patrick, who've been spraying some of the cameras with red paint.
Well, yes, indeed. No, this has been an absolute hotspot for vandalising the cameras. Apparently about 9 in 10 of the cameras have so far been vandalised, but that kind of 9 in 10 figure is doing the rounds a lot at the moment, because that's the same number of cars that Sadiq Khan says are actually ULEZ compliant. Look, it might not look like it, but I'm actually on one of the most controversial roads for the whole capital's rollout scheme here. It is Chatterton Road, and this is about a mile and a bit outside Bromley, which is a heck of a long way outside central London. And the fact is that a lot of people around here are saying, well, we don't really understand why we would have to be dragged into a ULEZ charge. £12.50 a day is the amount of money that people are paying to move their cars if their car isn't compliant. To say that it's been a bit hit and miss around here would be an understatement, which is why I am now at a cafe called Hit or Miss. And I'm going to come in and talk to a range of different people with a variety of different views. I mean, I've been up and down this high street quite a lot today, and it's fair to say there is not one uniform view on ULEZ being a good or a bad thing. But I thought I'd have a quick chat with Giles, who runs this fantastic bar and cafe here. And Giles, thank you very much for having me on. Now, what are your customers saying about ULEZ?
Well, I'd say 19 out of 20 customers are dead against it. They feel it's the stealth tax.
Okay.
And they're not happy. They feel like, it's a tax on... It's not a fair tax, they see it as. It's a tax on actually the poor.
OK, and they don't feel as though maybe there was enough consultation?
Absolutely, yeah. They're not happy at all, no. There are pros, and you'll find people in here today that are pro it. Yeah. But the vast majority are dead against it, yeah.
OK, all right. Well, Giles was mentioning there about some people who are bang in favour of it, and I've got one chap over here. I think it's Josh, am I right in saying that? Hello, Josh. Thank you very, very much for having a bit of a chat with us here live on GB News. Now, you are actually in favour of ULEZ, aren't you? So why?
Well, it's a good thing for the planet. It's helping the climate change crisis. It's admittedly very short notice with this sort of thing, but the long term it's a good thing for the planet. So yeah.
And you've obviously heard what Giles has said there. Some people feel as though it's a bit unaffordable, but you think that we've just all got to do our bit. Is that right?
Yeah, it's all about everyone doing their part on a wider scale, and in the short term there's cost, but in the long term there's good things. Yeah.
Greater good. All right, well, look, just follow me around quickly here, because one of the big things that was mentioned there in the news bulletin that I heard was about the scrappage scheme, OK? And that is a way of trying to, I suppose, mitigate the cost for people who need to update their cars. And as I can see here, I am with a local resident and a local dog walker and a local musician as well. What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah. And now, Sarah, you've had a little bit of an issue with the scrappage scheme, is that right?
That's right, yeah. I scrapped my van when it opened, and I was offered £5,000 to scrap my van. I raided my savings and got myself into some high-interest debt to buy a ULEZ-friendly car. It's the right thing to do. I'm a single mum. I work a lot to look after my family. And when they sent me the cheque at the beginning of April, it bounced. And I called them up. I said, they've got a problem. They said there's an indefinite time frame on how we deal with this. So I've written letters, I've sought legal advice, found out that it is illegal to dishonour a cheque. And I don't know what the next move is, but I think I'm going to file at the courts.
But you are, despite that, you are actually in favour of ULEZ, aren't you?
100%. Yeah. I think if we're creating problems with pollution, driving certain vehicles, if we're making a mess, we have to clean it up.
Okay.
We have to, and we're all part of it. So regardless of my income status, I support it.
And I'm going to move it on now. And what was your name again?
Sarah.
Sarah. Oh, there you go. Easy to remember that. I should have got that first time round, shouldn't I? Now, just quickly, Sarah, you are also in favour of ULEZ. A lot of people on this high street are concerned that it might put them out of business, it might reduce footfall. Certainly the hairdressers next door, they're saying that people might not come from out of town because it basically adds £12.50 to the price of their haircut. What do you reckon to all of that?
I'm very sympathetic to those people, but there are buses and trains which you can get if you don't want to pay that, so public transport needs to be used more. Most of the cars and vans are compliant. It's 90% cars, 80% vans, but 100% of people will benefit from cleaner air.
OK. All right, interesting stuff. Right, well, let's just back it up a little bit here. And you might be able to see quite a few David Bowie-themed things. It's because David Bowie, kind of grew up not so far down the road here and was filming a lot of his music videos here as well. I'm going to be stationed in and around Bromley all day, and I'm going to be speaking to a variety of different people as we discuss, frankly, as well, one of the most controversial policies of our times. Back to you in the studio.